Hi everyone, Simona here from Vector Twist. We are on day 8 here with our series 12 Days of Christmas, and today we're going to explore the artboards. I'm now working with Illustrator CC 2018. We have a new panel, and it's called the Properties panel. So first I want to show you that. You can find it up on the window, and then you scroll all the way down to Properties, and then you're going to get the Properties panel. Now the Properties panel is nothing else than condensed tools in Illustrator. You can see what kind of units you're working with, how many artboards. I'm working here with 12 artboards. You can show the rulers, the grid, or the transparency grid. You can unlock the guide and lock the guide. Also click to hide smart guides, and then you have all the snap options. It's basically everything condensed. Instead of you going up to the menu, you have it now in the Properties panel. Now this is really helpful if you're working with lots of artboards. And at the same time, I would like to show you also how you can rearrange your artboards and organize them. Right now you see 12 artboards with 12 Christmas themed icons, and they're all over the place. They're not organized, they're not in order. If I click on it, here in the Properties panel, I'll see it is number 12. If I click on another artboard, it will tell me it's number 4. Let's, for example, edit this artboard. So I'm choosing Edit Artboard here in the Properties panel, and then I'm going to see everything about this artboard. I'm going to see the X and Y coordinates, the width and the height, the name of the artboard, and if I have any presets. This is fantastic if you want to rename your artboards. Now, for example, this artboard is called Artboard 1 Copy 3. Now, if you've just created one copy after the other of an artboard, it can get quite confusing. Now we are working with 12 artboards, but what if you have 500 or even up to 1,000, which you now can have here in Illustrator CC 2018. So the first thing we always want to do is rename this artboard. Now since we're working with this artboard that has the icon of the gingerbread man, let's just call it Gingerbread Man. Then we press Exit. If we ever go back on it and edit artboard number 4, that we're working with the artboard Gingerbread Man. So I'm going to rename all of my artboards, but let me speed it up and then let's go right to the next step. Here in the Properties panel, you can also cycle through the artboards. For example, if I would like to go to artboard number 1, it will zoom in and show me the artboard number 1. Then we also have here the next button, so I can just cycle through the artboards. Artboard number 2, 3, 4, and so on. Now to move an artboard around, I can simply use the Artboard Tool and then move the artboard around. But I can also select multiple artboards. All I have to do is press the Shift key on the keyboard and then click on another artboard. Now I can move them together around. If I want to include more, I just keep pressing the Shift key and clicking on the artboards I want to move. Of course, I can also select all of them. All I have to do is press the Shift key and then drag all the way over all of my artboards, and then all of them are selected and I can move them around. Of course, there's one thing we always have to pay attention to. As you can see here, Move Artwork with Artboard is checked. In case this is unchecked, you would move your artboards, but not your artwork. But let's go and arrange our artboards. So first, we would click on Edit Artboard. We still have all of them selected. We can select the Arrange All. Now in the Arrange All, we'll get a new pop-up. And then here we can arrange our artboards. We can set the layout, we can set the columns, and we can set the spacing in between. And of course, we want to make sure that Move Artwork with Artboards is checked. Now let's say I want to arrange them in 6 columns, and I'm just pressing OK. And as you can see, and let me move this out of the way here, all of our artboards have been organized, from the artboard number 1 to the artboard number 12. And now if we wanted to, we could export them, of course, when we go to File, Export, Export for Screens, and then here in the pop-up, we'll choose not Assets, but we'll choose Artboards, and then we can select them all, and then export them into any format we want. And there's also one last thing I would like to show you. Now if you have a look here at the icon of the calendar, I have a border around the circle. But I do not have a border around all of the other icons. Now, of course, I could add the border to each icon singly, but I would like to show you one last neat trick to do it just with one click. All we have to do is make sure we're on the artboard, select the element we would like to copy, then press Command and C to make a copy, or Control and C, and then press Command, Option and Shift, or Control, Alt and Shift, and then V on the keyboard. And as you can see, it copied all of the elements that are missing on the other icons into the same spot onto the artboards. So I just want to tell you again, just select the element you want to copy, then press Command and C to make a copy, or Control and C, and then press Command, Option and Shift plus V, or Control, Alt and Shift plus V. And this will paste it into the same spot onto all other artboards that you have here on your canvas. Since the latest update in October, the artboards are much easier to work with. And on top of it, you can create now up to 1000 artboards. And it's really easy to rearrange them, rename them, and we can do this all via the Properties panel here. And this is it, we are at the end. If you liked it, please leave a comment below, and do not forget to subscribe to the channel here. And at the same time, don't forget to head over to vectortwist.com and check out more tutorials and articles on the blog. And I'll see you tomorrow with our next tip, so stay tuned.